So we're solving this for C here, which means we have to get rid of AB, right? AB is added to C. I don't know why I put a D in there. We're just going to subtract AB from both sides. What happened there? So we're left with C here. What's D minus AB? D minus AB. And that's it. Over here's a little more complicated. Solving for B, we have to first get rid of C by subtracting it. So AB equals D minus C. Then we have to get rid of the A. It's multiplying, so we're going to divide by A. So B equals D minus C over A. Questions there? We're solving for B here as our variable. So we have to subtract the C to get rid of it. D minus C is just D minus C. That makes this go away. Then we have to get rid of the A. A is multiplying it, so we divide by A. So that gets rid of the A. We divide by A over here. So that's just D minus C divided by A, D minus C all over A. We're doing the same steps, we just can't combine anything because there's no numbers in there. If you think about it, if this were 3b plus 7 equals 16, you would subtract the 7 and then you would divide by the 3, right? So that's exactly what we did here. We subtracted the C and divided by the A. It does. Unfortunately, there are a lot of times where it's easier to rearrange the formula. Like I said, if you're going to have to use that formula repeatedly several times with different values in it, it makes sense to rearrange it for what it is you're trying to find every time. Okay, so number 3, solving for C here. C has been multiplied by M and then divided by 2L. So to solve it, we're going to multiply by 2L. That cancels that out. P times 2L is 2LP. And now we have to divide by M to get C by itself. So that M's gone. That's C. 2LP divided by M is 2LP over M. Number 4 is tough because we're solving for L, and L is on the bottom of a fraction. We cannot solve for something that's on the bottom of a fraction. So what we're going to do first is the same thing we did first over here. We're going to multiply by 2L. So that's gone over there. We have MC over there. P times 2L is 2LP. Now we are still solving for L here. L is being, I'm going to rearrange this a little bit so that it is 2PL like that. Now when you look at it like this, you can see that L is being multiplied by the 2P. So to solve it, we're going to divide by 2P. So L is equal to MC over 2P. There are some alternatives to this. Here we could solve this by, X is being multiplied by 4 and then divided by 6. We could multiply by 6 and then divide by 4. But if you remember, back when we did percents, we did something called, when we had two fractions or two ratios equal to each other like this, we did cross multiply and divide. Well, here, the variable is not by itself over here. So just cross multiply and divide would not be adequate. But we can do just cross multiply. 6 times 64 is 384. Then I'm going to multiply the other diagonal. 4x times 12 is 48x. Those two cross products have to be equal. 48x equals 384. So we're going to solve this equation now by dividing by 48. X equals 8. Or we might have x plus 7 over 15 equals 40 over 60. Again, the variable isn't by itself, so let's cross multiply. We'll do 15 times 40 on this diagonal, which is 600. This diagonal is 60 times x plus 7, which is 60x plus 420, right? So now we've got 600 has to equal 60x plus 420. And we're going to solve that by subtracting 420. 180 equals 60x. And then divide by 60. So 3 equals x. What do you think? That's a little bit better, real numbers in it? A little bit, yeah. What would I do here? Add 3 1/8. So I have the 1 1/4 x is still over here. This becomes 7 5/8. And then divide by 1 1/4. So x equals 7 5/8 divided by 1 1/4. Got to make them improper. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 5 is 61 over 8. 1 times 4 is 4. Plus 1 is 5 over 4. The 61 over 8 stays the same. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal, so it becomes 4 over 5. 8 and 4 cross cancel to give me 1 and 2. So this is 61 over 10. 6 and 1/10. What do you think? Good stuff? A formula? What if we have something like this? Well, what this really is, when we have 2x over 3 like that, that can just be thought of as 2/3 x. And now, of course, it's simple to do. What do we have to do? Add 7. Yep, so 2/3 x equals 7 5/8. And then divide by 2/3. So x equals 7 5/8 divided by 2/3. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 5 is 61/8, times 3 over 2, 183 over 16, which is, anybody? There you go. How are we doing so far? Good? You're doing? How about, uh, 40, 42. How many do you want? What's it worth to you? Okay, so this one here, there's a couple of ways we could go about this. This is division, dividing by 16. This whole thing here has been divided by 16. So one option is to do this. 3x divided by 16 is 3/16 x. Negative 24 divided by 16 is a negative 1.5. Now here, this is a negative. So I've got to treat this as a negative 1 times that. So I got to do that first. Negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 12 is a positive 12. Negative 3x over 12 is a negative 1/4 x. We just do the negative 3 divided by 12 is a negative 3 over 12, which reduces to negative 1/4. Then 12 divided by 12 is a positive 1. And now from there, we can go ahead and solve it. We combine 3/16 and a negative 1/4 is a negative 1/16 x. Negative 1.5 and a positive 1 is a negative 1/2. Add a half. So negative 1/16 x equals 3 1/2. And then we divide by a negative 1/16. X equals negative 56. What do you think? More fun than a barrel of rabid monkeys? Remember the rabid, though. That's...
Did we get to watch from a distance, or are we right up in the action? We're not in that barrel, are we?
No, not yet. This is the same problem. The other option we had for solving this is to think of a common denominator. The denominators we have here are 16 and 12. What is the least common denominator for 16 and 12? You're thinking multiple, you're thinking factors. If you had 1/16 and 1/12, what denominator did you have to change them to? 48 would be the least common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this whole equation by the least common denominator, 48. Now, if you're struggling to figure out where the 48 come from, count up by 16s. You got 16, 32, 48, 64, 12. You got 12, 24, 36, 48. There's our match. Right? Down here, we have to multiply this whole equation by 48. So I've got 48 times this. So I'm going to write it as 48 over 1 times 3x minus 24 over 16. And I am now going to cross cancel the 48 and 16. Both divide by 16 gives me 1 and 3. So what this really is 3 times 3x minus 24. So 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 24 negative 72. Now I'm going to take 48 over 1 times this. What am I missing right now? The minus. So I'm going to make that a negative 48. One of them has to be negative. So I'm going to just put the negative with the 48 to make it a little simpler. 12 and 48 cross cancel to give me 1 and 4. Actually, negative 4. So it's negative 4 times 3x. 12x. Negative 4 times negative 12. Positive. Negative times a negative. And then 48 times 3. 144. Now, to solve, 9 and negative 12 make it negative 3x. Negative 72 and 48 making negative 24. What's next? Add 24. Negative 3x equals 168. And then divide by negative 3. X equals negative 56. We get the same answer. Here, if you can handle finding that least common denominator, and it's not easy to multiply it out, but once you multiply it through, then it's easy to solve once you get it to this point. You're not dealing with all those fractions. The reason I show you this method is there are some problems that have to be solved this way. For example, what do I have for denominators here? X and 2x. What's my least common denominator going to be? 2x. So I'm going to multiply this whole freaking thing by 2x. So 2x times the 3 over x. 2x over 1 times 3 over x is 6x over x. That divides out to be 6. Right? 2x times the negative 3. 2x over 1 times negative, well, 2x times negative 3 is just what? Negative 6x. Equals 2x times 5 over 2x. 2x over 1 times 5 over 2x. Well, guess what? The 2x is cross cancel, and I just have 5. And finally, 2x times negative 2 is a negative 4x. You got it. And now we solve. I'm going to get rid of the smaller. We got an x on each side. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one, which is negative 6. So I add 6x. So over here I've got 6 equals 5. Negative 6, or negative 4x plus 6x is 2x. Then what? It's a positive 5, so subtract 5. So 1 equals 2x. And then divide by 2. So 1/2 equals x. What do you think? I did great with the side of coleslaw. Well, I've got a worksheet for you.